we haven't seen statewide since 1987, the year I graduated high school, I might add, statewide tolls. However, that could soon change. Lawmakers are considering bringing tolls back in some parts of the state, mostly along the state border, meaning if you cross into Connecticut from either New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, you may have to pay. It's what New Jersey, New York, and Massachusetts do, so hey, why not us, right? Here now to talk more about the issue, our state representative, Tony Guerrera, the Democratic co-chair of the Transportation Committee, who is in favor of bringing back the tolls, and also State Senator Tony Boucher, the Republican ranking member on the Transportation Committee, who lives in Wilton, one of the towns which would be affected. So thank you very much for both being here. This is a heated debate.
Yeah,
it's something that still has a lot of interest. It's been a long time since there's been a toll. Tony, you were kind of on the fence about this before, if I recall. Now you're for this 100%, correct? Why?
Yeah, the more I thought about this over the years since I've been up there, the more I keep saying to myself, why not have tolls? And it was the Transportation Strategy Board who had a meeting about 2 weeks ago, who did a report, what was called the Cambridge Report, which came back with different options in regards to tolls. And one of them was on the borders. And when I saw the amount of monies that that could bring into the state, it just made my argument even better than I could ever imagine.
And tolls were eliminated in the state after that terrible accident in the 80s. I remember it well. I was young, but it was just so horrific. And the cars that were burnt up when the tractor trailer slammed into the toll booth, I believe on 95, right, in Stratford? So it was after that that tolls were eliminated, but the technology has changed, where there can be the Easy Pass system, where perhaps the traffic will not be stopped. So in your opinion, Senator, what's wrong with this picture if it's a way to bring in revenue when the state needs it?
Well, I think it's a complex issue. It's not that simple. And as a heavy user, I might add, of an Easy Pass all the way from Massachusetts to D.C., I know quite a bit about it, and I've watched it progress over those years. And it works well in certain states, but I'm always reminded of New Jersey, where the gas tax is extremely low, where they do have tolls. And I think that's an issue that we need to explore. How does that work together? Our tax policy with regards to gas tax and a tolling system that might cost everyone more. So it's not as simple as it might appear, and certainly if you represent towns that are right on the borders that might be affected very greatly, it would be a much harder sell in that area.
Well, right now the gas tax supposedly is supposed to be used to fix roads. That was why the tax, right, it's 25 cents a gallon now, and then you add in the gross receipts, which right now is
7%.
It's about 9 cents a gallon, I believe now. I just did a story on this. So,
yes,
so if you bring back tolls and you lower the gas tax, is that what you're getting at, that you want to make sure that happens?
I would like for us to at least explore that so that we can make it a little bit more people-friendly. And that's what's great about this wonderful committee. We have two terrific chairmen and some ranking members that represent different parts of the state. So we are able to have a dialogue that expresses the views from various sectors. There's no question there's a lot of concern by the border towns that this would add to tremendously, not only to cost, but also to congestion in the area as well.
Representative Guerrera, where would the tolls go?
Well, again, I would like to see the tolls on the borders, 95, 84, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New York. And as Senator Boucher said, you know, we had this conversation, the senator and I. She just ended up buying a new car, in fact, and her car gets over 40 miles per gallon. Mm-hmm. We've seen what happened to the automobile industry. And I can tell you this, within the next 4 or 5 years, our cars are going to get 40, 50, 60 miles per gallon. We're not going to be able to rely on that gas tax anymore. That means you're not going to be filling up.
That's a very good point.
Right, and you're not going to be filling up every week, Shelley. You're going to be filling up maybe once a month, or not even filling up.
I don't even fill up that much because I live
maybe
so
you'll
close
plug
by.
in your car at that time. So then what do we do here? And, you know, with Senator Boucher, she's absolutely right. If we put these tolls in, we should be able to reduce the gas tax. And I'm looking at least 50%. So that way, the money that does come in goes to our roads, and the monies that we were going to use with the gas tax to fix our roads, we go to mass transit. Fix our mass transit systems, our trains, our buses. Let's start, you know, expanding the state.
Senator Boucher, you were saying that you have your Easy Pass and you're
Yes.
used to using it up and down the East Coast. So why not Connecticut? It seems as if we're the break. Everyone's like, ooh, you don't have to pay tolls.
Well, you know, I've also watched how that Easy Pass fee has been incredibly increased over that period of time, particularly in the last few years. I've seen how on the George Washington Bridge, for example, it's now $8 to cross it. And so I'm worried, and I expressed the concern of a lot of residents, that that could go up precipitously like it has been done in order to balance the state budget. Now, we're engaging in a good conversation here, because if in fact we can tie any of those fees directly into a transportation project, I think there would be less resistance. We've seen how our transportation dollars sometimes get siphoned off into the general fund, so we have to preclude that. Also, the method of extracting the fee is very important. Will it be an easy pass that we see now, or will it be electronic cameras? Because if we have to stop traffic and have a cash lane, I've also seen the great backups over the years, even now in many of the states that use it.
Representative Guerrero, and that's part of the point here. Why not make people pay to use our roads, correct?
Well, that's what we're doing, though. But the funny part is,
if they stop and fill up their for gasoline in Connecticut.
Who stops? It's the people in the state of
That's
Connecticut.
what I'm saying. So
right.
You're saying the people who travel from out of state are not paying?
Absolutely not. I mean, you could fill up your tank of gas in New York and travel right through Connecticut and go into Boston or Vermont, and you never stop in our state to fill up, and it relies on us, like Senator Boucher and myself, who end up paying the burden for other people using our roads.
What would the tolls be? Have any numbers even been thrown out there?
I know the Cambridge report did some numbers in regards to $3 to $5 to $7, but the monies that we're able to make on these was unbelievable.
How much? Do you recall?
Billions. Yeah, anywhere from 10 to $22 billion. It depends, though, because remember, you have to put in infrastructure. That's going to cost you something. You have to also analyze what losses you might take from federal funding. But I must strike a cautionary note here as well, because we are a very small, dense state. A lot of the places that have tolls are large states. So the inadvertent problem is, that we may be taxing our own residents, and how do we avoid creating a situation where our residents are paying a lot more, given the...
Representative Guerrero, I just want to give you the last 30 seconds, because believe it or not, we're running out of time already, but you have commissioned a study to see exactly where you would place tolls. So this is serious. It looks like it could happen, I'm thinking.
Well, we did pass the bill out of our transportation committee the other day, and we're going to ask the DOT to start pursuing this in a heavy manner so that we can see where this is going to end up.
When would you like tolls on the roads if you had your way?
If I had my way, by 2010.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much. That was a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I learned a few things myself, so thank you. Have a nice weekend.